I'm Carol Erickson with the wonderful Dr. Lori V.
Carol Erickson.
We're going to be talking about these tiles. They're pretty special. I've seen them even in like people's kitchens.
Yes, and only one aspect of the wonderful collections that were amassed here by Henry Chapman Mercer here at Fonthill Castle.
All of it's coming right up. Dr. Lori, I love a castle.
I love a castle too.
I feel so at home here. We're at Fonthill Castle. Tell me a little bit about this unbelievable place.
Fonthill Castle is, of course, the residence of Henry Chapman Mercer. And Henry Chapman Mercer is very well known in Bucks County and around the world. And around the world because he was, in fact, one of the great advocates of ceramic art. So also just handmade pieces that relate to what's called the arts and crafts period. The period, of course, of people like Morris and John Ruskin and all of these guys.
And it's becoming more valuable as time goes on.
We're at the 100-year anniversary of that particular arts and crafts period. Some of you might think of it in Frank Lloyd Wright, for example. So what you're seeing here, however, is really a wonderful and amazing...
Watch all the home shows, of course. I see all these tiles and backsplashes. Now, what are these tiles? They're really great, but can you get a cheap version?
Okay, so you can get a cheap version, but you don't want a cheap version, okay? These particular tiles were, and what's wonderful about Mercer is he really was a museum person, so a person after my own heart. What he's doing here is he's giving you an accession number when it comes into the collection for him. And he was meticulous in that way because he was trained in that way. These are Delft tiles. Delft tiles are those tiles that you will find particularly dating all the way back, right, to, of course, the Dutch East India Company, which puts us all the way back into the early years of the sailing ships.
D-E-L-F-T.
Yes, D-E-L-F-T, which is basically a Dutch location. So that is a place in the Netherlands, right, where the Dutch are making these wonderful tiles. If you look at the tiles, and I want you to look at the iconography or the imagery on the tiles, because that is really what makes it most interesting. Sure, they're from between 1600 and 1650. That makes it interesting, too, about the time that Rembrandt was alive. But these particular tiles are wonderful because not only are they blue-white, trying to replicate Chinese tiles. Tiles from the Orient, which basically are always blue-white china.
Are they still making them?
Yes, they make them today. You can go to the Netherlands and you can buy a Delft tile or a Delft vase.
Okay, things like this, like the antique ones, big market, how much are they worth?
Big market, they're sold on and off the internet oftentimes. I see lots of people buying them on the internet and trading them and then putting them in their backsplash in their new houses. That idea of integrating and repurposing pieces. A tile like these could be as low as $200 each, as much as $750 each for one tile.
How do you know if you're being ripped off and you're not getting an original?
Okay, well, you have to learn a little bit about Delft tiles, so let's look at the iconography. First of all, you're going to see some of these elements that Delft on. That's right, exactly. So what you have here are some of the elements that are typical of Delft. One of the things is, of course, not only the blue-white color, but also you're going to see where they put a decoration in each of the four corners. There's usually a symbol or an image in the middle. For example, tulips. Tulips were seen as signs of prosperity, so flowers have their own iconography. There's a whole program of what a flower means in a particular Delft tile.
Okay, if you're going to go out and spend $200 to $500 or $700 per tile, what would you want in that tile ideally?
Other tiles are also quite fine. I would not want what is, of course, cracks or, of course, those things that are old.
Okay, and you can see an unbelievable array of these things, these Delft tiles. They're all through Fonthill Castle, Doylestown, Pennsylvania. It's pretty amazing, but it's very interesting because we're now using this not just in a castle. If your home is your castle, you may find it over your sink, I guess.
That's right. And remember, when it comes to any kind of ceramic, particularly when it comes to Delft tiles, you're looking for the brightest and whitest of the white clay. And of course, in our neck of the woods, you're going to see the way in which we have those types of great sources of clay all over. But this is something that you'll see throughout the United States, and you'll see it collected widely online.
Great. Yeah, and clay's also terrific for a facial, so, well, that's another story. Dr. Lori, thank you so much. Where can we find out more about these tiles?
We can find out a lot about Delft tiles and other pieces at, of course, Fonthill's website, as well as where we see other ceramic collectibles on my website at drloryd.com.
Okay, great. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time from Fonthill Castle. I'm so at home.
Yeah, you fit right in.